Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title in today's video, we're here to talk about the offensive threat build in NBA 2K20, or less specifically, we're here to talk about the playmaking sharpshooting combo and the slash and sharp combo, anywhere from 6'1" to 6'5". We're going to be showing a couple of different ways to make the build, speak to how key of a component this build is to the game itself of 2K20. So anyway, if y'all enjoy, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. Let's try to get this one to 500 likes in the first 24 hours. And without further ado, like I said, we're going to be explaining a couple of different ways to make this. I'm going to be showing y'all the ways that I know like the best myself from what I've seen, whether it be in stage 3s, stuff like that. And these builds that we're talking about, the offensive threat builds, they're by far mostly seen in the 3v3 sense, not especially in the 2v2, just at the fact that your lack of height and lack of defensive ability is going to be weighing down on you quite a bit in the sense of trying to compare and, you know, play with other two-way slashing playmakers and stuff like that on the 2v2. These builds do not rule the 2v2 in any sense at all, but later in the video I'll be showing you a way to make this build at 6'5", max wingspan, all types of crazy stuff like that, and it's actually really cool, so stay tuned for that. But again, this right here is the short play sharp with minimum wingspan, minimum weight, all that stuff, sharp takeover. This is probably the most commonly seen one, and probably the most comp in like stage 3s. Now, if you're sub to the channel, you watch all the gameplays and stuff, you guys know my homie AK. He has this exact same build at 6'1". He actually had it at 6'2", remade the whole thing just for 1 inch of height and didn't change a single thing with the attribute points, and I'm here to explain to y'all why. So you can see at 6'1", you max out with 93 speed at 95 overall. When you hit 99, that obviously goes to 98 speed total. I know there's a whole lot of 90 numbers going on here, but long story short, you need to be 6'1" to have 99 speed at 97 overall. And for a play sharp on the 3v3, especially in stage, it's going to be hard for you to maintain your overall. I understand, you know, in a whole type of different variants of what play style you play, what courts you play on, whether it's the park or stage, this probably doesn't pertain to you. But again, I'm here to explain to y'all how dominant this 6'1" really is. So you can see by all the badges that you get on this, yes, you lack defensively. In the stage, you're not really going to have to worry about defense too much. Generally, you're going to be able to guard some corner spot up who's just going to stay there. Maybe cut a lot, you know, in the sense of that. But when I say a lot, it's definitely not a lot. Most of the time, they're just going to stand still, stay put, and for the most part, you don't have to worry about your defense. On the park, this is very different. You're going to get attacked in a lot of different ways. It's going to be a problem, especially if you're playing with randoms and stuff like that too, and you're lining up at the point guard. The lock's not going to be able to switch on the ball very often because you lack the communication. That's when things get really tough with this build. So do I recommend making this for park? Absolutely not. In the park, you got to have a well-rounded build that isn't going to lack in too many categories. The two-way slash play is a really good way to go. Obviously, you really can't go wrong with that. You'll never be able to go wrong with having a two-way slash play on the court. But you can see, I'm kind of debating whether you would put Intimidator or Off-Ball Pest on that build. Honestly, what it comes down to is just, you know, the sense of what you play on, whether it be the stage 3s, the stage 2s, stuff like that. Honestly, if you're playing 2v2 with that build though, you're gonna struggle really badly. But anyway, moving along to the second one of the offensive threat. So you can see you go with the slash sharp pie chart. A lot of you guys know this is the BP build. However, I don't really suggest to make this very tall, just in the sense that it used to be really useful in that sense, okay? And I'm gonna explain why. So back in the day, you know, when the behind the back was in the game, all it really mattered was to have 87 ball control so you could do that move, and that's where it really came down to. Speed didn't matter in that sense, and when that behind the back patch came in, that's when the whole game changed. So all I can say is speed is very important in the sense of getting yourself open as a guard now. It didn't used to be, but now it is, and you're gonna see I recommend to go 6'1". Now I'm gonna show you the differences between 6'1 and 6'2". So at 6'2 you get 82 driving dunk, at 6'1 you get 81, and here's the struggle with that, okay? And you can see you drop the height down and you gain 2 speed, 2 ball control, just as like the play sharp does. However, the big problem that you run into with this build is that with 81 driving dunk, you got to be a 99.0 on the dot to have all your contact dunks, and that can be a struggle when it comes to being a point guard, honestly, and it's going to be frustrating. So what I'd recommend doing, for those who are worried about the dunking ability a lot, I would definitely say 6'2 is the way to go with that. But at 6'1, it unlocks your full potential of being fast, good ball control, all types of stuff like that. You can see, you could definitely choose between the slash and sharp takeover, but regardless, anyway, moving along, just showing you what the badges get. Honestly, let's talk to this build's just overall sense and how dominant it is. Now, this is more of an ISO build in my opinion. Obviously, you don't need 21 finishing badges and Hall of Fame finishing badges if you're going to be playing with an inside big. If you want to run pick and pop, obviously makes sense, but long story short, I see this as more of an ISO build. You can put up threes, you're unguardable in the sense of like driving dunk, and these builds with this dang bro, with this tendency glitch stuff, I don't know how many of y'all know about this thing, but oh my god, it is a problem to guard, dude. And it's honestly so whack that they haven't fixed this tendency glitch. Long story short, y'all, basically, I'm gonna put y'all on game if you don't know what I'm talking about. Basically, there's no way to do it anymore because it was based on this demigod glitch that was back in the game in, like, say, probably, I think it was like 4 months ago or something like that, super early in the game, and you could get like the animation glitch and stuff like that. Now they did patch it and they made it so you can't do that anymore. People were cheesing it in the My Career because you could just do it like that, and if you took it in the park, it would get like instantly reset to your regular build after regular player after one game. But long story short, people touched all their tendencies and stuff. They made it so they get like 99 driving dunk tendencies, or actually 100, I think. And bro, it literally makes them unblockable in that sense. And you would not believe it, right? I was sitting here thinking like, oh, how could tendencies change something like that? I'm telling y'all, it's for real, and it's so stupid. And I absolutely hate running into people with it. But anyway, y'all, the whole point is that BP build, whether it be 6'1", 6'2", whatever it may be, even 6'4", is pretty nasty. But I want to introduce y'all to a build that you may or may not have seen. Shout out to my homie Kitchen for putting me on how to make this and how to make it with lock takeover as well. Now you're going to see in the first portion I'm not showing how to make it with lock takeover. I'm just going with the perfect situation you could possibly do. It doesn't take too many adjustments to give this build lock takeover, however, but you're going to see. Long story short, this is basically just me making a build tailor-made to fit on the 2v2 court and play with an inside big man. Alright, so you can see we have absolutely nothing on finishing, but you do have 11 defense. And when you go ahead and make this build 6'5", you're going to see there are massive improvements for the defense. So I'm talking block into your D-board, all types of stuff like that. Obviously just your height in general. Now you're going to see the ball control does take a pretty big hit. You're down to 84 and you haven't even touched the wingspan. I would definitely not suggest to go anywhere near 6'6" with this though. You can see you lose so much speed. You drop down 3 speed. I think you lose around 5 ball control, something like that too. It's just not worth your time. So long story short, I would definitely say max height you should go with this build at 6'5", and then you're gonna see with the wingspan too. So I definitely recommend to go one tick down from max just so you get the 82 ball control. If you're around 99.0, you have 86 ball control, and that will be at least good enough to like speed boost properly. Now there's a difference between like speed boosting and then like speed boosting. All right, I don't know who knows about it or who doesn't, but long story short, I'm just gonna explain it to y'all like this. You want to at least have the 86 ball control. I'm gonna just leave it at that. So anyway, so I know the title of this video that you clicked on is Let's Talk About the Offensive Threat Build in NBA 2K20, and this one right here is a 3-point playmaker. I understand all that. I will say I made this video with the intention of showing you guys the yellow and green pie chart and the blue and green pie chart, and just showing you a couple different ways of making this, and this one is super unique, okay? So I'm gonna speak to its strengths and its weaknesses. The strengths is that it can guard bigs pretty well, solid defensive rebound, 11 defensive badges. If you have to guard ISO too, it can work. This one right here is truly made for playing with builds like mine personally. The finisher build who can guard the ISO, they have good defense, good mobility, stuff like that. You guys can make the switch. I think this build is perfect, and it's really hard to have a pick and roll point guard on 2v2, right? Just because most of the time you're going to really struggle to guard those two-way slashing playmakers. But this build right here allows you to, at the very least, guard corner defenders really well. So what I'm going to suggest to do with this, definitely use at least bronze box. You're going to probably want the clamps on a little bit, pogo stick for dealing with the bigs, and then intimidator. If you want to drop the pogo to silver, you could probably get away with that personally. But again, I would definitely recommend a badge set like that. And again, to speak to this build's strengths, it's so perfect in the sense of like fitting in on 2v2. Is it made for 3v3? No, not at all. You need a build that's going to be super fast, super good at dealing with, you know, having really good ball control. Even the three-pointer being down a little bit hurts a little, but again, the whole point of this build is just strictly to be able to play 2v2 really well. But anyway, I want to put y'all onto this minor tweak that you have to do to get this this lockdown takeover, right? So basically, what I'm going to explain, you see the pass accuracy at 88. You have to take this down 2 ticks to 86, and then I just took off a little bit of post move just for the sake of, you know, extra badge points. Is it worth putting it into O board? Probably not, but long story short, you're going to go 6'5" again, minimum on the weight. You can actually do 176, I think, and you'll be all right, but then 1 tick down in the wingspan, boom, lock takeover. The whole key is to just drop that pass accuracy a little bit. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the vid. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. I hope y'all enjoying this series too. If you are new to the channel and you haven't checked out the other 2 videos that I've done, the whole let's talk about blank build, basically I just talked about the facilitating finisher. You can make it 8 different ways. It's honestly kind of crazy. 8 different pie charts have the ability to have the facilitating finisher as its title. Then I talked about the glass cleaning lockdown, just kind of speaking to how it's the glue build and stuff like that too, and then show a really cool way of making the playmaking defender build that actually has the same title. And then we talked about the 2-way slashing playmaker, how dominant it is and just how annoying. Long story short, it's a really cool series. If y'all want to check it out, I'm going to turn this into a playlist and put all the videos together. If you made it to the very end of the video, put Playmaker in the comments to show your support that you made it all the way through to the end portion of this vid. And like I said, if we could try this to 500 likes in the first 24 hours, I'd really appreciate that. Other than that, I hope y'all enjoyed, and take it easy, man. Peace.